No music, no Titantron, no warning. Just Arissa sliding through the crowd and hopping the rail like she'd done it every night of her life. 1 second, Ronda's mid-promo. The next, there's a brand new shadow in the ring. The cameras zoom in on their eyes, and the building forgets how to breathe. 3 heartbeats later, the whole place is on its feet, and the only thing louder than the roar is the unspoken question: how long until this explodes? Freeze it right there, because what you think went down is only chapter 1. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment pop-in. This was 2 months of side-eyes in the trainer's room, clipped answers in production meetings, and one very personal grudge settling its tab in front of 4,000 unsuspecting fans. Rewind with me. Okay, before we get to that stare-down that broke the internet, let's get the obvious out of the way. Why Arissa LeBrock, why tonight, and why Ronda freaking Rousey? Short version, legacy. Long version, grab a snack. There's a broken collarbone, a family dinner argument that leaked into a writer's room, and more ego than a Hollywood red carpet. Arissa's WWE tryout wasn't supposed to be on camera. It was 2 a.m. in an Orlando warehouse after a marathon taping. 60 seconds in, Regal scrawled "Gets it" in his notebook, and she had a handshake deal. She swapped Seagal for LeBrock on her gear, Mom's maiden name, because nobody needed a neon nepotism sign buzzing overhead. Dustin Rhodes took her under his wing not out of charity, but self-defense. Kid listens like a sponge, trains like a psycho, and apologizes to the turnbuckles after she dumps you on your neck. 3 months of protein shakes and 4-hour naps later, she's stringing together shoot grappling chains that made H pop up at a live event like he'd sat on a thumbtack. Meanwhile, Ronda's on a different ride. Crowd thinks she's checked out, but behind the curtain, she's taping a hairline fracture in her hand and a chipped tooth courtesy of Sonya Deville. Still shows up, still puts people over in dark matches because that's what pros do. First crack, Huntsville house show. Arissa gets 4 minutes with local talent and looks like she's been doing this since kindergarten. Ronda, on headset for a dark promo, mutters, "She's greener than a dollar bill." The headset's hot. Arissa hears it. Next loop show in Birmingham, Arissa adds a stiff elbow that leaves the jobber seeing Tweety birds. Regal notices. Ronda notices. Management licks its lips. They test the temperature on the 5/12 SmackDown, backstage bit with Adam Pearce telling Arissa she's on thin ice. Ronda strolls by with a coffee mug. "Some of us earned ice. Some just slip on it." Twitter melts for half a day. Flag planted. Fast forward to 5/18. Raw's off the air. Arissa asks for feedback on her Poughkeepsie match. Ronda, ice bag on her wrist, gives her the uncut version. Footwork sloppy, transitions obvious, leave the flips to folks who can zip their own jackets. Arissa fires back, "Big respect, but maybe drop the crown before you lecture me about footwork." Room goes library quiet. Titus whistles like a teapot. Ronda laughs, not a promo laugh, a real one, and says, "See you Friday." 5/26 SmackDown. Ronda's cutting a promo on Shotzi, promising carnage. Arissa's music? Never hits. She just pops out of the third row in jeans and a ponytail, slides into the ring like she owns the deed. Security's a half-second late. She snatches the mic. "You talk too much." Ronda's grin twitches. Refs freeze. Ronda shoves. Testing. Arissa shoves back, palm to collarbone. Ronda swings. Arissa ducks under, hooks an arm, and suddenly they're in a beautiful chain wrestling clinic as the crowd loses its collective mind. Slow-motion treasure. Ronda's hip bump telegraphs the judo throw. Arissa counters with a low sweep. Ronda rolls into an arm dragon. Arissa grapevines the leg and cranks. You can actually see the moment Ronda thinks, "Oh, okay then." Locker room empties. Shayna peels Arissa off. Raquel holds Ronda back. Michael Cole sounds like he's hyperventilating. Segment ends with Arissa dangling Ronda's armband like she just won it at the county fair. Road agents scramble. Segment went 4 minutes heavy and the second hour's getting a full rewrite. In the trainer's room, Ronda's icing her shoulder, grinning ear to ear. Finally, something real. LeBrock vs. Rousey trends worldwide in 15 minutes. YouTube clips hit 2 million before midnight. Meltzer calls it the most alive WWE's felt in a year and a half. Next night on Raw, they announce a triple threat qualifier. Arissa versus Shotzi versus Zelina. Winner probably faces Ronda at SummerSlam. Ticket sales pop 8% in a day. Bootleg unfinished business shirts fly off the tables by Friday. Arissa's promos are still rough, but "You talk too much" worked because it was real. Ronda selling for the rookie tells you exactly how high the ceiling is. Women's division just found the afterburner switch Becky left behind. Beat 1, qualifiers to Money in the Bank. Beat 2, non-title near fall with interference to protect both. Beat 3, SummerSlam, possibly MMA rules, for the big gold. Original 526 plan was Ronda versus Shotzi in 6 minutes. Arissa wasn't even on the run sheet. Ronda's coffee was an empty prop. She won't touch caffeine after mid-afternoon. Dustin Rhodes was literally bouncing backstage like a toddler on sugar watching that counter sequence. Twitter's 3 camps, Arissa's the future, Ronda forever, and the usual, it's fake, relax. The sweet spot? New viewers asking, who's the blonde? Fresh eyeballs money can't buy. Contract's got 18 months left, part-time clause baked in. This could be the final march or the spark that gets her to re-up. Either way, the footage says she's all in right now. Natty's giving her secret extra sessions. Main event, 6-woman tags on loop. They're protecting her like a rookie QB with glass knees. One bad landing and momentum stalls, one perfect match, and she's the new poster child. No big deal. Grainy training montage. Arissa at dawn on stadium stairs. Ronda in the UFC Performance Center hitting mitts. Heyman voiceover. Legacy versus Destiny. Mentor versus protege. Baddest Woman versus daughter of action movie royalty. Scalpers start sweating. Arissa's lone televised match, 423 2.mem views. Ronda's last singles loss, WrestleMania 35. Combined Insta followers, 16.4 million. That's crossover cash, clean finish, or shenanigans. Shayna turned to manage the rookie. Steven Seagal in the front row with a foam finger? Please, no. Real question. Does Arissa pin Ronda under the brightest lights, or do they stretch this cash cow another year? Comment section is yours. Does Arissa finish the story at SummerSlam, or does Ronda survive the storm? Boldest prediction gets pinned at the top next week. Back to that freeze frame. Arissa's jaw locked. Ronda's nostrils flaring. 30 seconds of church mouse silence. Listen close and you'll hear the crowd chanting, "Let them fight," until it hums like static. That's why we watch, hoping the leash snaps. PA walks past Gorilla 5 minutes later, hears Ronda laughing. That kid just reminded me why I love this. Every so often, wrestling hands us a lightning bottle. This feels like one. If your pulse isn't racing, check the cable box. See you after Money in the Bank. Something tells me the best chapter's still unwritten.